Hi y'all! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate Godwin, aka Neon Fuzz Studio, and today we're going to be making a zero waste jacket. I saw this really cool posting on Fiend from a local coffee roaster called Kaffebrenneriet here in Oslo. They posted that you could come and pick up their old coffee sacks. So basically I went and I took some. It was really cool. I thought that it was great that they weren't just throwing these away. There's kind of a culture of reuse here in Oslo, which I really appreciate. I also picked up this fabric from a flea market here in Oslo. It's my favorite flea market. It's the Birgitta flea market. It happens every Sunday during the kind of warmer season when it's not snowing. It's just this medium to heavyweight cotton, and I feel like it goes really well with the coffee sacks because I was able to secure this one super special yellow coffee sack that has all these beautiful design details.
Like the yellow with the orange with the plain jute will go
really nicely together. So let's hop to it. I'm really excited to do this project because it dawned on me a few years into my sewing journey how much waste sewing could create. I ended up with just all these scraps and I didn't really know what to do with them. I didn't want to throw them away, and that became the starting point of my journey to be more zero waste in my sewing and making process. Today I'm going to be using a zero waste pattern from Birgitta Helmersson, who is a Swedish designer. I just think using these kind of recycled cast-off materials with the zero waste pattern will be hopefully the perfect match. I really like on the black writing how it actually says Norway, which is where I live right now, so it's kind of like a memento of my time here, and I kind of like the logo as well there, so we'll try that. Too bad my initials aren't KB. That would be really cool. So I am going to do some more calculations and figure out like how long I actually want the jacket to be, compare it with some other garments, then we'll get cutting.
I'm going to be using two other fabrics. One I mentioned I purchased at a local flea market here. The other I picked up off Fiend for free. It came out of this old woman's basement and I think it goes perfectly with the other fabrics. I'm going to be making some modifications to this jacket, including adding a lining. To do the lining, I cut out pieces identical to the main body of the jacket, but just made them a little bit shorter. This way, the outer hem will fold up and it will create a super awesome finish.
I am done cutting this out, and this is the beautiful pile of pieces. I love how neat it always looks stacked up. And this is the waist. These won't be wasted. I will be saving them, and I might see if I want to add any pockets or any other details here. They definitely will not go to waste. They will be used one way or the other. Doing it this way kind of defeats the purpose of the zero waste aspect of the pattern because there are going to be offcuts. I'm not following this perfect cutting plan exactly because I'm lining it and I'm making some modifications. That's okay because it's nearly zero waste. Is that a thing? Let's sew.
Now I'm going to seam two pieces together for the back to create the effect that I'm looking for.
Serger time. I got on my serger because I've decided that even though I'm planning to hide as many of the edges on the inside with a lining as possible, this is really unravelly. You might have noticed the strings are just falling off. And I'm really worried that the seams could just unravel and the whole thing could eventually fall apart. Even if it's a hidden edge on the inside, if it's one of these jute sacks, then I'm going to be serging the edge. I've got all these threads to choose from. These big spools are the ones I usually use for my serger threads. And my little hack is to choose as many threads as you need that approximately average out to the color of the thing that you're going for. So I don't have matching threads, but that's okay because I really like the weird mismatched color pop that you get on the inside. I think it's kind of cute. It looks great. Let's cut. Some more.
I need to get some more because I didn't cut out neck holes and everything like that the first time around.
I've made some more changes to this zero waste pattern to accommodate what I like. I made this pattern once before and I didn't like how the sleeves join to the body without any sort of curve. It made for this awkward seam. So I've actually widened the body to allow me to add a little curvature, and I think that'll make it a lot nicer when I go to attach the sleeve.
I'm making other modifications to this pattern, including eliminating the shoulder pleat to reduce bulk. And now I'm serging the rest of the edges of my jute.
So one good thing about my system with the different color threads for the serger is that when you have a clog, a tangle, a problem, it's really easy to tell which thread is which.
It's all serged. For some reason, it now feels like the hard part is over. Is cutting and serging the hard part for anyone else? Or is that just me? But the good news is now I can actually start sewing.
I need to sew all the body pieces together, fronts to the backs of the main and the lining, and then the sleeves, and also all that together with the collar kind of wedged in there. It'll make sense at the end.
I'm about to iron everything, all the seams flat.
I wanted to try it on.
It looks like I'm wearing a burlap sack. Because I am. I like it. I kind of wish I had made the arms deeper. It fits, it's just, maybe it's just this dress. It has really baggy, puffy sleeves. Ooh, but I really like it. Burlap sack, fashion, zero waste. Sleeve time.
I'm sewing a straight seam across my sleeves, and then I'm going to press this open. I turn the body inside out, stuff the sleeves in with right sides together. I removed the free arm cover and slid the sleeve on to sew in the round easily.
I sewed on one sleeve and it started to look so much like a jacket, and I loved it so much that I had to add a pocket to make it even more jackety. I'm wondering now, is this pocket comically small? My hand fits. Let me know in the comments if it's comically small. I am done with both the outside and the lining. And now it's just time to sew these two together. I'm going to be sewing them right sides together, leaving just a little bit across the hem where the two kind of meet, and then I'll be turning it right side out and attaching the cuffs, and we'll be done. Hopefully. Before I sew it all up, I need to sew the bottom hem. You'll kind of see why that works, but I'm just sewing right sides together, the bottom hem first. And here in the middle, I'm gonna leave a significant opening so that I can actually turn it inside out later.
Sewing across the bottom hem, remembering to leave that gap. Mind the gap, New Yorkers. And the most satisfying part of this project, sewing all the way around from hem to hem. Amen.
While I was sewing all the way around, I was just feeling so incredible. I was feeling amazing. Like, I was feeling like, oh my God.
This is the best sewing of my life.
I'm doing an incredible job. Good thing I'm getting this on camera. Then I get it off the machine. I realized that I was so focused on like easing and getting everything just right that my bobbin thread ran out. And now I'm just praying that I didn't jinx myself. The moral of this story is never get overconfident in your sewing, because the sewing gods will strike you down. Let's turn this inside out. Oh wow, this is becoming a thing. I'm gonna show you how I like to pop out the corners. So this is a trick I learned on Instagram from someone, thank you. What I do is I actually hold the seam allowance with some tweezers, and I put the tip where the corner is going to pop out, and then we go through. You kind of use the tweezers to gently push and pop it out, and you end up with a really nice clean corner. I recommend using tweezers that are kind of rounded like this and not like really pointy, because I have poked holes in my sewing before.
After pre-pressing the cuff in half and one side of the seam allowance up, I am sewing this in the round. And using my sewing sausage to repress the cuff into shape.
My first attempt at gathering went terribly because this fabric is so freaking thick. So here's what I'm doing. I'm doing a little hack and I'm turning my tension all the way up, and my stitch length is 5, just like usual when I'm gathering. I'm here with my almost finished jacket. I was thinking about what I want to use for buttons or a closure, and I really liked these like wooden buttons, but I've kind of realized that putting holes in this and doing buttonholes could be a
Dangerous proposition.
because of this thick weave. So I think I'm going to go out while we still have daylight today here in Norway and go to the fabric store and see if I can find something that I could just sew on, like a snap closure. The little wooden buttons are really adorable. It's just, I'm afraid. I don't want to ruin this. I'm really happy with how this jacket turned out overall. I think there's some room for improvement. I was worried partway through that I wouldn't like it because the burlap jute sacks were so stiff. I wasn't sure about how it was turning out, but I think lining it with a lighter weight fabric on the sleeve really helped, and I actually kind of like the shape. There are some things that I could improve. I got these sew on snap. I love how it's super invisible on the outside. It's just like,
How's she snapping that up? What's she doing?
guess I sewed them on, like this was supposed to go here, this was supposed to go here. Yeah, I didn't know and the package didn't really say, so I just did what looked right to me, and I think that's maybe actually wrong. I love the modifications I made, like the curve to the collar, eliminating the pleats in the shoulder and just doing a slope. The arm curve worked really well. Lining it turned out really, really awesome, except
When I was hand sewing this up, I caught a little bit of the back, and then now it's, yeah, there's just like a little problem with how it's hanging.
I could easily fix that in 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe I'll do that. I really like it overall. I will definitely wear it. The thing that I love about clothing and objects and all of that, and the reason I make things, is because I love the stories and the histories and the things that they contain, and this contains a lot about my story here in Oslo. There's a lot here and it's really special to me, and I am very glad to have this to take with me into the future. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this project. Let me know in the comments what sort of upcycling you are doing. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Follow me on Instagram at NeonFuzzStudio, and I'll see y'all next time.